Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, July 12th. Taking a look here at the markets. Now, everybody's probably wondering, what is that on your screen here? If you are in a part of our room, every morning we try to put on something kind of cool, something relaxing. A lot of times we watch dogs because I'm a dog person. But bears are out and fishing, and check this out. I actually turned the camera on, or turned on screen share, over an hour ago, and they actually had the brown bears. You could see them. It was much darker up in Alaska at that point. But look at the bears fishing here. It's so amazing. You know, see, we're not just a trading room. We're kind of like an old lifestyle, We check out a little of everything. All right, but let's take a look here at our futures. Futures are pointing down in the SPY and the Dow. Dow's actually down a little bit more than when I first started watching. But the NASDAQ, so that's the SPY futures. But if you take a look here at the NASDAQ futures, they are continuing to push up. So, I mean, that sector is just really taking a nice leg up. And also, some names like Apple are continuing on. I just can't, I'm just so impressed by Apple right now. Normally, when we look at it, it'll have like 1 or 2 days of good movement, and then it's like, oh man, like it just couldn't quite follow through. But we are looking at such a beautiful run in Apple. But let's start out. Hop over into some trades. Snow, I am in snow still. I was going to sell it on Friday, and I decided to hold on to it. Now it's a little bit red this morning, or not the trade's red, but it's opening a little bit red inside the top part of the candle from Friday. So if you are still in it, I'm watching that particular trade to take this little break and then maybe continue on here. I really like snow. I mean, we came up and touched just close to the top of this little volume shelf. And this is very, very minor, but there is so much room here to continue heading on up. So I'm going to continue to watch it. However, I always tell everybody, thank your profits when you can. I think that is really smart. And I also want to look at Apple. Apple, for day trading, is going to continue to be a day trader. The reason day trading is just because look at this big old move. It's going into earnings, and look at it a couple ways. I think there is room here all the way up to this trend line. This is a shorter term trend line, so I like that. But we just popped up over those highs from back here in January, and I just kind of feel like it's a little bit extended, so I would rather go ahead and take profit as it comes along. So I'll watch that one here this morning for a day trade. I know some of you have been trading Amazon. Amazon, beautiful big old flagpole, putting in the, it always makes it look, there you go. That's a better way to look at it. And remember, charts are all about perspective. You can make anything look exciting or boring depending on how you scale your chart. I think this is a much better look here, because as we look at it, you can see the flagpole. We took we put in a doji on Friday, and yet this morning I think we're back up. I mean, we're working our way back up. It looks like we're going to test that 379.59. We're not too far off of it here this morning. So some awesome looks. But overall, tech has just really been cruising along. Now I'm going to go over a couple here that have been constantly on our watch list. And Friday, PayPal, love that it finally closed over this line. I will be looking to take a position in PayPal this morning. I like it all the way up to that 309. I'm going to be watching the August 20th, both the 300s and the 310s, probably leaning on the 310s. But nice over this close. I would use this trend line as a nice tight stop if you wanted to keep it very tight. Otherwise, I would use the 297.40 level as a stop. Kind of depends on your personal preference, but taking those profits quickly doesn't hurt, because you can always come back in and play it another day. NVIDIA, heading into its stock split, took the nice fall, put in this lower gap. This is a bearish gap as of right now, but we closed on the high end of an inside candle there on Friday. I like the look of that to push into this gap, and the excitement built around that earnings split. I really am very happy that it will be splitting and make it a bit more tradable for smaller account sizes. CrowdStrike, I like the little flag it's putting in here, and this one too. I swear I'm not just picking the same stocks over and over. These are the sectors and the areas that have been performing then there's no sense in trying to find something and try and make it work when these are working. So crowd, I like it up over the super short-term trend line, watching this longer trend line. Don't forget, there's been so many ransomware attacks and hacks, and although we may not hear about it every day on the TV or on the news, it is out there, and companies are looking at that. They are doing their best to protect themselves and their customers from this, right? From the hackers. I mean, and it's so easy these days, seemingly, to get hacked. So watching crowd, and I really like net. So net intrigues me, pushing up toward highs. Nice level. You can see that we've actually just spent some time doing a little bit of accumulation here, a little bit lower volume, looking for a break over 109.85. I like the net. August 110. On crowd, I like the 270s, by the way, the August 270s. Don't forget, continually look for those earnings, because we are headed right back into earnings. Well, watching all these stocks, I'm going to need a cup of coffee to go with it. Love that Starbucks kind of snuck up here. We looked at this. We were looking at Nike and some of these other ones and kind of running through some good old favorites. And, well, let's face it, I might be personally responsible for Starbucks doing well. Okay, maybe not, but I do drink a lot of Starbucks. Usually make it here at home, though, save a few bucks. But look at this. We came right up, we tested this trend. That's why trend lines are so important. They just give you a little bit better of an entry or maybe an exit, a stop. So draw in those trend lines. I just find them incredibly helpful. And is there a right way to draw in trend lines? Well, I think you get better at it the more you practice. See, all those are going to kind of come into the same spot. So looking for a move over this where it touched here. So over like the 117, I'm going to say the 117.60 mark is where I like Starbucks. And I like the 120. So the August 20th, 120, again, earnings coming up on that. Since not everybody likes coffee, some people like soda, so I will take a look at Pepsi. I'm not sure I love these wicks as much, but I didn't want to take it off of my watch list here, because to me, this level right here, it comes right up off of these volume shelves. I'm going to draw it in from back here because it makes it a little easier to see, right? You can see that we used it, we're using it for support. So although it hasn't really been able to close topside, this would be a very short trade because we do have earnings tomorrow on this. So so those are tomorrow morning. So just a day trade in this. I like the potential catalyst going into that day trade. I thought it was tomorrow night, but they do report tomorrow. So keep that in mind, but might make a really nice day trade here. Johnson & Johnson closed over a pretty decent level. It's coming into a little bit more resistance. They have earnings coming up as well, but they did have some other news this morning, and now people are starting to talk, are we going to need more booster vaccines? So I think that taking a look at not just J&J, but take a look at Moderna, Pfizer, NVax, and BioNTech, BNTX, all of those, good to keep on play on your watch list. They make great day traders and good swings. Johnson & Johnson, I like the 170s for August. Couple good old favorites. UPS setting in a nice little level here. If I draw this out, you can see that once again we came right up and tested a short-term trend line. Earnings coming up, play into earnings like this, really over anything over Friday's high. Looking at the UPS 220s, and I think those are pretty much my favorites. We'll continue to watch Chewy. I know a lot of you got out of that already, but I really still like Chewy. Medtronic's another one I'll kind of keep an eye on. But like I said, keep an eye on Apple and Amazon. Those are great day traders. And then lastly, let's talk about space real quick. They had their launch over the weekend. So a lot of news. I don't know if anybody held that through. I think a few of you did. And I said we had to be careful that it might be a sell the news type of event. It was successful, so I think that in the long term it will be very good. But maybe some profit taking here this morning. For me, I like space up over all of this congestion that we have, all of this volume. resistance. For me, I think over 57.40, maybe even 57.50 for a trade on up to go up and test that high and break it. But like I said, that could be a sell the news event here today, people taking their profits. But longer term, I think it's a good trade to keep on your watch. And how exciting, as we, venture off. Last year we talked so much about the medical community coming together globally to get out vaccines. And, that's something in the human nature that we really need to appreciate all of these little things. Stop focusing on all the bad stuff, but look at the amazing things that we're doing. So not just in space, Blue Origin, all of them getting out there, SpaceX obviously, really taking on a space, an area that was typically left to government and contracting, and now it is out there in a public forum, really pushing the envelope and showing how amazing American ingenuity and just American idealism can be. So, all right, everyone, I hope you have a great day. I look forward to seeing you, and I look forward to our next trade. I'll let you update. I will update everyone on snow in I'll send out an alert just prior to the open as to my intention on that. If you have any questions, reach out. Heather C, GivingTrueTrading.com.